Hey, friends! Today I've got an insanely mind blowing story to share with you. It's one of those stories where the first time you hear it, you're like, wait, is this for real? So let's jump right in. Some scientists actually believe that mushrooms might be extraterrestrial life forms. Yep, you heard that right. And hey, if you're eating mushroom soup right now, congratulations. You might just be chewing on an alien. First of all, mushrooms are incredibly strange. They're not plants. They're not animals. So what are they? If you ask a regular person, they'd probably say a mushroom is a mushroom, duh. But from a scientific point of view, mushrooms are total weirdos. They don't have chlorophyll like plants. They can't photosynthesize. And yet, they have characteristics that are surprisingly animal-like. The protein found in some mushrooms is more similar to animals than plants. I swear, if a mushroom suddenly stood up and started walking, nobody would be surprised. We'd just be like, yep, told you it was an alien. But seriously, what really made scientists start wondering if mushrooms might be alien life forms is their spores. Mushroom spores are ridiculously tough, like tough. Scientists have run all kinds of crazy experiments on them. Exposure to outer space, intense cosmic radiation, ultraviolet rays, extreme vacuum, insane pressure levels, and freezing temperatures hundreds of degrees below zero. And guess what? The spores survived. Like it was no big deal. Not only did they survive, but when returned to a more normal environment, they grew, as if they were saying, oh, is that all you've got? Come on, give me a real challenge. For comparison, if a human cell went through even half of that, it would be toast in 5 minutes. But these spores, unbothered. Even crazier, their outer shell is like a radiation shield. It reflects high levels of radiation and protects the genetic material inside. This isn't some random evolutionary perk. This is the kind of feature you'd want in a spaceship passenger traveling across galaxies. Some scientists have gone as far as to say, if you wanted to send life to another planet and didn't know what the conditions would be, mushroom spores would be the perfect vessel. They don't need light. They don't need air. They don't need food. They can hibernate for thousands of years. And when they find a suitable place, boom, they grow. Now just imagine, what if an ancient, advanced alien civilization decided to spread life across the universe? Wouldn't mushroom spores be the ultimate life-seeding package? And to be honest, outer space might not even be the toughest place they've lived in. Right here on Earth, mushrooms have been found thriving in environments with deadly levels of radiation, places where humans would die in minutes. But some mushroom species, they literally feed on radiation. Like, bro, that's nuclear energy, not lunch. What's even more wild? Some researchers believe this may not be coincidence. They theorized that mushroom spores could actually be intentional probes sent out by a super-intelligent alien race to test which planets can support and interact with their form of life. And guess what? We're living on one of them. But wait, it gets creepier. Not only are mushrooms ridiculously tough, they might also be intelligent in a way we still don't fully understand. Ever heard of mycelium? It's the underground network of thread-like roots that connects mushrooms and also connects to plants, trees, and even bacteria. And this network? It's massive. Some scientists call it the Internet of Nature, and that's not just poetic. It actually transmits information. Like if a tree gets attacked by pests, it can warn other trees through the mycelium network, telling them to produce defensive chemicals in advance. In experiments where obstacles were placed in the path of a mycelium network, it found new paths, solving problems in ways that resemble intelligent planning. It's like mushrooms have their own built-in GPS. And I'm just saying, if mushrooms could get driver's licenses, they'd probably beat Google Maps. The largest mycelium network ever discovered? Over 9 square kilometers wide, located in a forest in North America, and believed to be more than 2,000 years old. That means it was around before many of the ancient civilizations we study in textbooks. Now, some scientists are beginning to ask, what if this network is more than just a communication system? What if it's a planetary brain? A vast, decentralized nervous system that's been operating under our feet this whole time? And we just never noticed we've been walking on an alien all along. Sounds like a sci-fi movie, right? But wait, there's more. Fossil records show that some mushrooms are incredibly ancient. We're talking 440 to 810 million years old. That's way older than plants, way older than land animals. Think about that. Back when Earth didn't even have trees, there were already mushrooms. These things have survived mass extinctions, ice ages, and who knows what else. They don't even need sunlight to grow, unlike every other plant. That means they could technically survive on a planet with no sun. So yeah, mushrooms growing on other planets? That's not impossible. And now for the part that really messes with your head. Some mushrooms, like the famous magic mushrooms, contain a substance called psilocybin, which affects the human brain in a very, very strange way. People who take it often report out-of-body experiences, seeing geometric patterns overlaying reality, and some even claim to have received messages from beyond this world. Sounds like fantasy, right? But neuroscience suggests that psilocybin shuts down something in our brain called the default mode network, which is responsible for your sense of self, your ego, your identity. When that shuts off, people often describe feeling connected to everything, like their consciousness is no longer limited to their own body. This raises a crazy question. What if magic mushrooms aren't just mind-altering fungi, but tools? Like alien communication devices that help us tap into frequencies we normally can't access? Ancient civilizations, including the Maya, the Aztecs, and indigenous Siberian tribes, have used mushrooms in spiritual ceremonies for centuries. They believed mushrooms were a bridge to the divine, a way to contact other realms or beings beyond comprehension. And here's the spooky part. These cultures had no contact with each other, and yet their beliefs about mushrooms were strikingly similar. So think about it. If mushrooms really were alien life forms, what if their goal isn't to take over the planet, but to help us evolve, to unlock deeper awareness of the universe? Maybe every time someone trips on mushrooms, they're not just hallucinating. Maybe they're tuning into a broadcast that's been waiting for us to receive it. Some scientists have even suggested that psilocybin should be seen not as a drug, but as advanced biotech, a kind of alien software that uploads itself into our consciousness. So, that mushroom growing quietly near your fence? Is it just food? Or is it a wireless headset from another galaxy, just waiting for someone to plug in? I'm not saying every mushroom is a spy for alien civilizations. Okay, maybe I am. But one thing's for sure, mushrooms are not ordinary. They're ancient, they're tough, they're smart, and they might just know a lot more about the universe than we do. Thanks for listening all the way to the end. I hope today's wild ride through alien mushrooms has changed the way you look at them forever. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to follow, like, and share, or drop a comment and let me know your thoughts. I'll catch you in the next episode with more strange stories you've probably never heard before. Take care, and next time you see a mushroom, look again. Because who knows? Maybe it's looking right back at you.